We are group 4, and we were assigned Kaltevika, and we were told to investigate the streams going into the bay to see if the streams affect the water quality in the bay. So, Kaltevika is northeast of Bergenhuset, northeast, and as we zoom in, you see it's north of Arna Center. It's about a 20-minute walk. And as we zoom in, you will see that there are a number of houses in the area and also industrial area up here. So Kaltevika, or the bay as we will refer to it, is a swimming site and recreational area. There is also toilet facilities just behind there. It's had a history of bad water quality, as you can see here, from 1994 to 2015. The green years, each one of these is from 1 year. The green is when the CFU, the colony forming units, which is a bacterial measure, is lower than 100, which indicates good water quality. The yellow ones are 100 to 1,000, which is not as good, but still sufficient. And red is the bad one, which is over 1,000. As you can see, there are a number of years that are red and very few that are green. And now on to the sampling is Jenny.
Alright, so basically we chose 4 different sampling sites, and these were chosen based on the accessibility of the sites, but also we took into account recommendations from Bergen municipality. So basically we can start off with site S, which is our first site, and it's actually in the bay. Here we're taking water samples for abiotic factors. We also took some sediment samples along a transect to measure biodiversity at site S. But basically we are focusing on the streams. Sorry about that. Focusing on the streams, which is site A, site B, and site C. And from each of these sites, we took 7 replicates for TCB, so bacteria. We also took water samples for abiotics and for biodiversity. So let's take a closer look at site A. Here you can see Inga Lill taking samples from our first stream. And we had some problems while sampling. You can see we have the obstacle of this large boulder, but also the metal grid that obstructs the outlet of the actual stream. But we can carry on to site B, because here we were met with the same challenges, again with this grid, but also here the water is really shallow. So whilst we're sampling, it's about 5 to 10 centimeters. So it's difficult to get samples from here. Surrounding this site is actually a construction site too. We can move on to our last site, which is site C. Here again, we were met with some of the same challenges of this grid and very shallow waters running through the stream. So even though the sampling was difficult and challenging, we did actually manage to sample and we did get some results. So we can see from site A and C, we have slightly elevated bacterial counts, which indicate less than sufficient water quality, while site B is very low bacterial counts, which indicates good quality, where you could basically drink from this stream. Overall though, our results do not indicate pollution of the streams, although there's slightly elevated counts of bacteria. I'm going to pass it on to Marek, who's going to talk a bit about our biodiversity results.
Thank you, Jenny.
That's the baseline.
The arrow.
For the biodiversity sample, we took a transit along the bay, and we just sampled along in 3 spots, and we analyzed the sediment sample in the lab. And we got different 6 taxonomic groups, and the most dominant taxonomic group that we get are the oligochaete, followed by polychaetes, and the rest 4 groups. The numbers that you see are the actual numbers that we get from the sediment samples. So from this, although the oligochaete and polychaete are pollution resistant to the organisms, but it's really difficult to conclude the bay is polluted. So we just further go to see the municipality data. And for that, I will Ingrid.
Yes. Since the streams weren't as polluted as we expected, given the history of the bay, we took a further look into the bacterial measurements done by the municipality. And they used 10 samples. Whoa. 10 samples each year to categorize the bay, and they use a percentage method to do this, which is explained here. Here you can see a plot of the raw data. And as you can see, the color here indicates the categorization done by the municipality. The X here marks the mean, and the bar marks the median. And as you can see, the mean and the median is not often within the same category given by the municipality, and there is a large variation within each year. But when you see this year here, you can see there is much less variation, and you can see that the 3 categorization method falls within the same category. And the median is the strongest measurements against outliers. So if you look at just the median here, you can see that almost every year it falls beneath the green line, which indicates good water quality. So we asked, is Kalkarika actually polluted, and is the question to investigate the streams actually justified? Well, that depends on the categorization method that is used. As you can see here, it varies between the methods. If we look at our data, you can see that we have much less variability, and there you can see that the 3 categorization method falls within the same category. So it seems that when you have little variation, the percentage method is okay, but when you have a large variation, as it often is in Kalkarika, the median is probably more representative. And now Tony is going to present some of the suspects for the variable data we have seen.
Yeah, the suspects, the first one is the toilet that Andreas mentioned. It's about 20 meters from the water, and it's what the Norwegian call an utedo. There's of course a tank there, and that is made of fiberglass, which is supposed to not leak. But again, the Titanic was not supposed to sink. So. Here we have the general area of Alnabågen, and Kalkarika is about here. We have a shopping mall here, a parking lot, some boats, and a river flowing in. And we don't know if the owners of the boats actually dump their toilet waste in Vågen here, or if they actually do it outside in the fjord. Because if they do that, that can explain the incredibly high outliers that Ingalill told you about. And then we have recreational activities within the bay, which could, of course, especially in the summer, loop here. And then we have some challenges that we met, and of course sampling, especially biodiversity was one of them. So the question was to sample or not to sample. Because I don't know if you noticed when Jennifer was talking that the water level was very low, there was no sediments there, and it was very inaccessible. And that made it hard to sample biodiversity. No planktonic nets were possible, and not sediment samples either. So what we did, naive as we were, was do this with a falcon tube and hope for the best. And that of course didn't work. We found no organisms. But we still don't know how we should have done it. So if you have any suggestions to us, please tell us later on, and we can tell the next group from next week. And then we have why men don't listen and women can't read maps. Because that's us. We can't give you the why, but we can tell you that it happened. We, the ladies here, were supposed to find the sites based on the maps. We told the guys, and they said, hey, good job, you managed. But they didn't really listen to what we said. And when we were supposed to make a presentation, and they actually looked at the map, they were like, wait, whoa, we did something wrong. And I don't know if you guys actually noticed, but Site C kind of jumped around a bit. And that's because this is what Andreas told you Site C was, and this is what we were supposed to sample, but we didn't. We sampled up here. It's a bit further away. This stream does not connect to Kalkarika in any way. It goes out into the fjord. But surprisingly, interestingly enough, this did not ruin like our research or our report. It just pushed us in another direction. So yeah, it actually turned out okay, believe it or not. Mark?
Yep. So the conclusions and recommendations from the streams that we consider. The first thing is we cannot really find any pollution indicators in the streams from our data, of course. And the second thing is it's always important to have the sampling of the bay and the streams at the same time to see the potential impact of the streams in the bay. And another important thing is it's always important to have consistent and replicate samples from the municipality. So we highly recommend that the replicate samples be done when there is the material analysis. Because if you do replicate samples, it gives an actual picture of the water quality. And the last thing is Kaldtrevika really polluted? Not really from our data. And sorry, are the streams contributing towards the pollution in Kaldtrevika? No. So the further investigation should consider the recommendations and further investigation should be done. Thank you very much.